I have the pleasure of calling on Dr. Joan Oviawe.
I want to thank the publishers of Nigerian Magazine for the invitation to participate. Um, Frankly, when I got the invitation, I was a bit nervous because I looked at all the women that have been invited and I wonder, what do I have to add to this conversation? So before I launch into what I have to say, I do want to acknowledge and give a shout out to my staff, some of my staff. I sent the link to them, and I'm pleasantly surprised to see that about 15 of them have joined us, including some guys. So we can say that they're on their way to being feminists, right?
Oh,
And allies
welcome.
for women's empowerment. So for me, I guess my own contribution this evening will be from the point of view of government, right? I work in Edo State. I'm a public servant in Edo State, which is in the southern part of Nigeria. And for us, we are very fortunate to have a governor that is very, I suppose, uh, philosophically, one could say is a feminist because we all know that Nigeria, those of us that are from Nigeria, we all know that Nigeria is can be a very patriarchal society. And so to have a governor in a state in Nigeria that values what women bring to the table, that is very comfortable, allowing women to occupy very important portfolio in its cabinet is a remarkable thing. Very quickly, as the chairman of the State Universal Basic Education Board, I work with my colleagues to oversee the delivery of basic education to over 300,000 children in our public schools. We have over 12,000 teachers and 700 what we call education managers. There's also another female colleague that is heading housing for the state. Another one is heading social development. Another one is heading social investment. Another female is heading skills development agency. The primary healthcare agency is being headed by a female. HIV/AIDS is a female, and so on and so forth. And these are just heads of agencies and parastatals. We are not even talking about the female commissioners. So in a nutshell, for us in Edo State, I think in the last 5 years, 4+ years, there's been a lot of opportunities for women to grow in leadership in both in government and in business. In addition to creating opportunities for women to thrive in its government, our governor, His Excellency Governor Obaseki, has also done a good job of providing opportunities for women to become small business, to become small business owners, for women to, so for us, the rhetoric is no longer about the rhetoric of women's empowerment. It's now about investing in women, because we all know that when you invest in a woman, you are investing in the whole community. And we also know that um, women, the rate of return on any investment on a woman or a girl child, it's in multiple folds. So for us in Edo, we are making progress. We are not where we need to be yet. In my subsector, something happened recently that just was one of those epiphanious moments for me. Our governor just recently appointed. So in the local government areas, there are what we call education secretaries. And in my state, we have 18 local government areas. And the government just appointed 18 people to be education secretaries. Education secretaries are the people that oversee education delivery in their local government. And out of the 18, 6 of them are women. And this is unprecedented. So I was very happy to see that. And the women, and this was not that, oh, we are trying to have some women be part of the group, so tokenistically give out some of the positions to women. No, these women came. In fact, the best performing candidate in the interview was a female. So these women came, did their thing, held their own amongst their male colleagues. And so for us, we have a lot that we want to leverage on as we move towards a post-COVID-19 world, per the theme of this interaction this evening. Like I said earlier, we still have some work to do. One of the things I've noticed, and this is worldwide, and perhaps even more acute in places like Africa. One of the things I've noticed is that you always have asked females several times, repeatedly, to take on a leadership position. So if you ask them, oh, there's a position that, and this is something I've seen amongst my female staff, many of whom are mentoring. So you ask them, do you want to, even head a school? Do you want to apply to be a head teacher of a school? And they will say, oh no, I have a little baby, I don't know, this, that. There's always that initial hesitation, that initial lack of confidence, because we just assume that we need validation. We need some sort of external male validation to be able to push forward. And so for us, in terms of what to do next, the biggest thing I would say is, how do we help more women to develop that innate sense of confidence, to accept the fact that being ambitious is not necessarily a bad thing, especially if it's done in a very healthy way with work-life balance. Next step would be creating more opportunities for girls, encouraging girls, because I'm in education, so my bent is really towards things related to education, encouraging the girl child, particularly again in a country like ours, where we don't have a lot of girls reading in the sciences, in the STEM field, encouraging more girls to do that. And then also, I don't know, for the younger generation, I don't know what they call them now, if it's the millennial or Generation G or Generation X, but I think there's also social media has a role to play in really, I don't know how that can be done, but a lot of the videos I see these days, a lot of the memes I see these days are very troubling in terms of the commodification of women and sexualizing them. And so you have another generation of young girls, young women, who think that the sum of their total, their worth is based on how they look and how well they can twerk on camera and all kinds of crap. So there is still a work to be done in that regard in terms of sensitization. More women need to mentor. Years ago, I attended a very high level event in New York City. I was actually there to accept an award. And one of the things the room said that stuck with me since then was that it's no longer trendy to say you want to mentor. The focus should be sponsoring, because mentoring is almost, unless you're really committed to it, it does have a certain level of inactivity attached to it. So you can say you are a mentor, but you never really have time to really fully interact with your mentee, or the level of the mentoring is just about, throwing little nuggets of advice to them here and there. And one of the things I learned at that event was that when you choose as a woman, as an empowered woman, as a woman of privilege, as a woman occupying a high level space in society, to sponsor other up and coming women, it means that you are committed to taking them for where they are now and helping them climb the ladder. So it's not about giving advice. It's about understanding where they want to go career-wise, or even if it's business, and ensuring that you do whatever you can within your sphere of influence to assist them. So I want to end on that note and to once again appreciate the invitation to be part of this conversation. Thank you.